but fun.
Ah.
Alright. Hey everybody, Paul Acevedo, EastX Twitch here from Windows Central. Tonight I'm joined on the mic by Tyler and Brian.
Yo.
Hey, hey.
And we're going to play Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky second chapter for Steam. The game is also available on PSP and Vita. I've been playing that version as well. I'm really fond of the game. But we're just going to hop into this. I'm about an hour into the game. I skipped some of the introduction stuff because there's just a lot of dialogue. Very dialogue heavy game, isn't it, Brian?
They always are. This one has 10 novels worth of dialogue for talking to everybody. 5 for the main story and 5 for all the little side quests and shopkeepers, and it's just crazy.
Ooh. Simu mentions that he thinks I have shaved. I would like to point out I only trimmed my beard. I still have it. It'll grow in by Saturday.
Looks like you trimmed it with some hair.
Oh. Yeah, my clippers, they cut a little close today, but that's alright. So let's give a little background about where we are in the game here. Let's see, start button. Nope, start button doesn't do it. Controls are slightly different between the Vita and the Steam version. So here's the primary character of the series, Estelle Bright. She's in the first and second chapters of the game, because these have been released as 2 games so far, and there's a third one they'd like to eventually release. So it starts out when she is 16, and she's a bracer. A bracer is like a knight or a gunslinger, or kind of like a witcher also, except that people don't hate them, they love them. But it's the same deal, like they take jobs and travel around, they fight monsters, they help solve disputes and stuff. So really just like a witcher, except for the lack of animosity towards them. Yeah, and right now she's like in the final phases of her training. She's gone through some advanced training to help her become a better warrior. And she's teamed up with, I don't know how to say this name, is it Annalise?
Annalise.
Yeah, Annalise is also going through the same training, and they're getting along pretty well. Then, this phase of their training, they have to go down into the sewers, and... Boy, I forget what we're actually doing down here. It doesn't matter. Here at the beginning of this...
Killing rats, I mean, what else would you
Essentially. Here we have a healing station. You can rest and get fully healed up, if you need to.
So is this on PSP instead of Vita because it's such an old Japanese game that it's more of a straight port than being on Vita?
It was originally released on the PC. All 3 games in this particular trio were released on the PC
Long time ago.
Yep. I think the first one was released back in like 2002 or 2003.
Are you positive about them really all being on PC? Because I could have sworn I read that at least one of them isn't.
Maybe the third one, but the first 2 were definitely released originally for the PC, and then later ported to the PSP.
In the Steam version here, they've added some nice little lighting effects here and there. When you stand in certain spots, your characters will cast shadows, and the shadows move realistically. Although in other spots, you have no shadow at all, which looks weird to me.
That's
odd. Here's a switch. I've already got this in the right place, so I'm not going to move it. By the way, there are selectable difficulties. You can pick easy, normal, hard, and there's one past hard. I'm playing on easy right now. On the PSP version, I'm playing on normal. It gets hard in certain spots, so I just wanted to keep it on easy for the stream. You can see the enemies on the map, so there's no random encounters. You have to actually touch them to initiate a fight, and if you touch them from behind, then you get to move first during the fight. But if they touch you from behind, then they get to move first.
Standard RPG.
Yeah, that's cool though. I like when games have that mechanic. Each character has a certain attack and movement range. It's not something you have to worry about very much, but if the enemies are far away, then you might have to move over to them first. Tyler, have you ever actually played a turn-based RPG?
Yeah, I played like the old Dragon Warrior
Oh,
games
cool.
and stuff.
You.
Actually, I'm just checking out. Hey, Dragon Warrior.
Yeah.
First of all.
I didn't care for it myself. I was
I
more of a
know.
Final Fantasy fan.
I'm playing the prototype for Indivisible right now, which is turn-based, partially.
Well, that's more like action RPG.
Eh,
Yeah, but
yeah,
it's
it is
turn-based.
turn-based. It's kind of like a Mario RPG style, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of a combination of Mario RPG and maybe like some Zelda games.
By the way, welcome Plop Zero to the stream.
Did the Xbox One get the Indivisible prototype?
I don't believe so.
Because it said on PS4. I thought that was really cool that they would.
Wow,
bother
that
to
is
do
cool.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna make their goal though, man.
No,
They're,
no way.
they're
They're
nowhere.
way
Oh, I wonder
short.
why.
Because they set their goal at $1.5 million.
Aw. Yeah, they should have said it like 500,000 or something.
Yeah,
Yep.
they've hit between 5 and 600,000 last time I
That's a
looked.
shame. I don't think they will give up on it though. It's a really strong game.
They already
agree,
have
and
a
I don't think
publisher,
they will.
so
Right, but the publishers are going to have to kick in, and I don't even know if you can do that on Indiegogo. But I mean, the publisher could kick in like another $800,000 to make sure that the crowdfunding amount still gets funded. But I'm not sure if they can actually do that.
yeah, I don't know if they can. Well, they probably could, but Indiegogo and all the other hands along the line are going to take their cut.
That's true. Good point.
Yeah, the publisher is 505 Games, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
You can save at any time, by the way, which is a good feature. The PSP version uses the PSP save system, which sucks, because it's just like, if you go to save and then you decide you don't want to save, you don't just get to back out, you have to confirm that you don't want to save. That gets on my nerves. You know what I'm talking about, Tyler?
Not.
I hate that about the PSP.
I never played PSP.
You don't have any PSP games on your Vita that you've played?
Not right. I played a little bit of one of those Prinny games, the Prinny platformer
Yeah.
game or something, but not a whole lot.
Prinny,
of
I Can Be the Hero too.
it. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, those are cute games.
These enemies I'm fighting right now, these frog guys, are so much harder on normal, it's not even funny. And yet on easy, they only do like 1 or 2 damage.
Well, I mean, I do like a good RPG that has an easy.
Yeah, it's
mode.
nice if you just want it to be easy for it to actually be that way, and that's what some RPG gamers want. But believe me, normal and hard get pretty tough. Like, the difficulty on normal will spike sometimes. A boss fight, for instance, will be, 10 times harder than the regular fights, and sometimes you wouldn't be prepared for it.
Yeah, that's true. I do remember the first game having some difficulties. I think I played on normal originally.
Oh nice, Icky just typed out the name of the game in Japanese.
Yeah, they're all the Kiseki games. That's what this particular trilogy
Fun
is.
fact, this is a really long-running series. It's actually Falcom's most successful series. Although you would think it would be East, because in the West, East is better known. That's an action RPG series. This is turn-based RPG, obviously. But this is their most long-running series. And the very first game was released in America on the Turbo Duo, which is the TurboGrafx 16 with a CD player. And I actually had that game as a teenager, played all the way through and beat it. Which is neat.
Man.
At the time, even at the time, the game... I mean, they must have brought it out like 5 years after the real Japanese version, you know? So, even at the time, the visuals were kind of dated, just like how these visuals are kind of dated. But it was still a really good game. It had great voice acting. Uh-oh.
Yeah, keep in mind this game came out in 2004.
For the very first time, yeah. And Xseed has spruced it up a little for Steam.
Yeah, they have spiffied it a little bit.
See, I'm gonna do an art so we can see what those look like. No, actually, I'm gonna save my arts for the boss. Sorry, guys.
Oh, I played Super Mario RPG on Super Nintendo too. That's another turn-based one that I
yeah.
played. And that one's definitely turn-based. That one's not like the Mario and Luigi.
Yeah, that
ones or
one's
the Paper Mario
full
ones.
turn-based.
I did
Yeah.
not know that. I thought they were all the same. combat-wise.
Nope.
No, that one was
I mean,
made
that
by
one was made
Squaresoft.
by Squaresoft. Yeah, it's awesome. Man.
During Squaresoft's golden age, back when they didn't make bad games, period.
They made very few bad games, and now it's a rarity to find a good game.
I like some of the. I mean, I guess you're probably talking about games that they're actually making, but I like their like action games that they make, like Tomb Raider, but I guess it's not really. That's just them.
That's
publishing.
Crystal Dynamics.
You guys are talking
they bought
about
Crystal
they
Dynamics.
developed themselves because Hitman and Deus Ex are both just published by Square Enix, right?
Yeah, they're dumb. They're made by Eidos.
That's right.
One game that they did fantastically recently was Bravely Default.
I heard good things about it.
That should have been a Final Fantasy game. It was that
Never
good.
played it.
It's a DS.
It's a
3DS
Nintendo,
game.
yeah, a Nintendo.
Yeah, I wonder why they didn't just stick the Final Fantasy name on it.
They were kind of hesitant because they didn't think
Level up.
that people were going to go for such a retro style game, but it sold millions in Japan and it sold very well here.
There's a little bit of controversy because Nintendo censored some of the character outfits.
Well, some of the character outfits were a little bit risque, like pasties and such.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it comes down to, Puritan North America versus more liberal Japanese.
It is a thing. Although I see, I'm opposed to censorship, but on the other hand, I do see both sides of it, and it's not that I like seeing the female body, etc. But on the other hand, I think that there's like a time and a place, so to speak. Does this actually fit in with the rest of the game? In Japan, they don't care. Like, it could be any kind of game, and you'll have your skimpy outfits.
There'll be boobs.
Yeah, whereas in America, we would think, well, who's going to be playing this game, and would they play this game to be titillated or not, or whatever,
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Well, I mean, they typically keep the TNA to a minimum.
Yep.
In American games, typically, unless it's designed for more adult.
Yeah, like Mortal Kombat
audiences.
has some TNA, you could say. Not actual nudity, but it's certainly risque outfits. But yeah, it's just a matter of tone, and that's something that a lot of people on the internet don't understand, is you want to manage the tone of your game. So is my game trying to be sexy? If it's not, then having some random sexy bit may just stick out like a sore thumb to American audiences. So that's the whole issue.
Yeah,
Light Cycle. Good to see you, Light Cycle. You've been a stranger lately, man.
just be naked in all games.
Yeah, you'd love Japanese games. I'll just say that.
Yeah, like, at least in Japan they have games where the game is obviously designed to be sexy, and it's certainly they are sexist at the same time, but at least the game is just wearing that on its sleeve, so it's not like somebody's gonna buy it and accidentally get offended, Get some items out of all these chests. Tyler, you're familiar with the One-Chanbara series?
I've heard of it. Doesn't it have like a female like swinging a sword or something on this?
Yeah, they
cover?
mostly wear bikinis, the female characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bring it up because there's a game getting brought to Xbox One that is, on the surface, pretty similar to One-Chanbara. Oh dang, surprise attack.
What's it called?
It's like 3 words, and they're all Japanese, but I think Museki is one of the words. But it's actually available in America on Steam. It's a little $10 3D action game. And you play as girls, and you fight a bunch of mindless enemies. So, it sounds like it's right up my alley.
Oh. Yeah, you would probably like it. Speaking of, I played some Dragon Quest Warriors, which came out recently, and it's fun for a while, but I knew I don't like that genre that much, and so I kind of did get bored of
Oh,
it.
Tyler.
Yeah, I made it about 6 hours in.
Something.
I suppose that's something.
They're so relaxing, man.
Yeah, they're just not that, and that's what people were saying too. You know, and you don't really like play them a lot of hours in a row, or you play it straight for a week. You know, it's you plug it in and you play it when you feel like just beating things up mindlessly.
Yeah. Because I mean, just imagine. Not everyone does this, but for instance, me, I like to relax with the Forza games. So I will get home from work and do maybe only just one race, you know, or maybe sometimes like an hour's worth of racing if I have time. But like that is my winding down procedure, and it works really well. And I don't think everyone uses games to wind down, but if you do, I mean, if that works for you, or if you can learn to do it, it's really enjoyable. And obviously, difficult or like fast-paced games are less appropriate for that purpose.
Yeah, I was gonna say hardcore puzzle games are not appropriate for that.
Oh, yeah, I was playing a good amount of Talos Principle, and that one that works on your brain a little bit.
Ooh. That's on PS4?
It is a lot of fun. Yeah, PS4 and PC.
Yeah, didn't you stream that at least once, Brian?
I have
Nice.
several times. I love that game. Some of the later puzzles make you go, what? And
I was
the
able
stars
to do them,
especially.
Brian, so I have faith in you. The stars, no, I wasn't done. I wasn't able to do the stars. I was able to do all the red sigils, although some of them are quite tough themselves.
Yeah, the gray ones are tough.
Aren't those the ones that are behind the star doors?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was able to do one or two, but I kind of called it good after I beat the main.
I mean,
game.
to get the best, absolute best ending, you have to do that.
Well, the story is terrible.
The story's interesting.
It's awful.
I think it's interesting.
Quite nonsensical.
You have to read.
You have to
everything.
read a ton. I can't believe how much written dialogue is in that game.
If you don't read everything, you're not gonna get the story.
Yeah, I started skipping the computer terminals after the third or
Dang.
fourth one.
Is this one of the games? I can't remember, but is this one of the games where if you look at the empty treasure chests, they say something?
I should do that.
And isn't there an achievement for doing that?
You know, I haven't actually been looking at the Steam achievements.
There was in the first game, because I missed a couple of them, and it complains.
Oh, dang. Well, I'm not gonna stick with this particular save file. I'm playing through on the Vita, and that's it for me.
Gotcha.
The combat in this Indivisible prototype is really interesting.
It's very, very fast paced.
Yeah.
I do actually like that. I just, I understand that it's
It reminds me of Child of
prototype.
Light, but it's actually useful, like it's actually good combat, whereas I hated Child of Light's combat style.
I like the combat because it's, they directly ripped it off of Grandia, but I don't like. I love the treasure chests. I think each treasure chest says something unique, which goes into the 4.5 million lines of Japanese characters. But I like the combat style. I don't like the sing-songy rhyming, forced rhyming story in the game. I just wish they would have ditched that. That was a terrible idea. Oof. I wanted to like that game so much.
Yeah, and it got really good reviews, and then I played it, and because like I said, I didn't like the combat either, so I was quite disappointed with it.
Well, I mean, I have played some terrible games just because I like the combat system. Grandia Extreme comes to mind.
So you were talking about Child of Light?
Voice actors. Yeah. The voice actors were reading off of a page in Grandia Extreme.
That's lame.
But the combat was fantastic. So, I suffered for a while.
Bayonetta's a good game, is that what you're talking about?
Oh, he was when we were talking about Skimpy Girls.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I have not played the second one, but if I see a good deal on it, I'm picking it up.
I've seen it for like 30 or 35, which is about as good as it gets for Nintendo.
Yeah, I might just get it off GameFly used for like 35 or 36. I think I got a coupon coming at the end.
Why not just rent it from GameFly?
Because
It's a long game.
Keep it.
I mean,
Yeah, and it comes with the first one
Yeah.
too.
it's a keeper. It sounds like it.
Yeah, it's probably a game I would like. I'm that kind of twisted individual.
Let's see. Icky asks about how the PSP and Vita version is sold. The answer is first chapter is sold separately from second chapter, just like on Steam. And the second chapter, PSP game, it's 2 discs, which is like a weird thing. You buy it digitally, and you get 2 separate downloads for the first disc and the second disc. But it has to be that way because the Vita games were designed for physical disc, and they can only hold like 1.5 gigs per disc.
1.5, 1.8, something like that. And it is a port of the Japanese PSP release, so they have to keep it as a multi-disc archive.
Hey, 40 Soft, aka
Oh.
Josh, how you doing?
Hey!
40soft, good to see you, man. We're playing a Sony-related game tonight. This is sort of our Vita night, because this game is available on both PSP and Vita, as we've mentioned several times, and Steam. And so we could have streamed either one, but I decided to stream the Steam version so we could use the video at Windows Central. And it looks slightly nicer, but actually they're really, really similar. It's just that like the UI has been adjusted for Steam a little bit, fonts, things like that. You can even make the fonts bigger if you want, which is a cool feature.
Yeah, Icky Bayonetta 2 being Wii only is awful.
Yeah, but Nintendo
Not a whole lot you
bankrolled
can
them,
do about it, yeah.
so Nintendo made that game happen.
Everyone
which is
had
weird.
their choice. Everyone had their
Right.
chance.
But did
so
Sega even go to...
Sega wasn't going to do it.
Yeah, Sega just flat out said no.
Oh,
So Nintendo bankrolled them, and.
but what I
made
meant
it
to say
happen.
is, did Platinum even go to anyone else besides Nintendo? Did they go to any publishers who were not platform specific?
Yeah, nobody wanted to touch it. I don't
I don't know. But was it? I don't even think it was Platinum who did it, did they? Because I thought the IP is owned by Sega.
I think it was Platinum who developed the second one still.
It is, but they wouldn't be the ones who go to anyone,
Well,
would they? Wouldn't it be mostly
But Sega wouldn't
or-
do it, so they had to... I mean, didn't they just go around them?
Yeah, I guess you're probably right, huh? But it still
Yeah.
it still says Sega on the intro of the things.
Yeah,
I
so...
think.
Well,
know,
is
they-
Sega? I'm sure
Fine.
Sega's still
Yeah.
getting a small bet.
You're probably right. You're probably right, Paul.
But yeah, that's because they're Japanese. They may have just gone to Nintendo because it was convenient for them, you know.
Yeah.
But like,
We could have gone to Sony, and I would have been more happier.
so, but well, the most ideal thing for gamers around the world would be if they just went to somebody who supported all 3 platforms.
Right. Yeah, but too late now. I mean, not like it's impossible for me to get a Wii U to play Bayonetta 2, but it's still not on my,
I mean,
If they just
short-term
would drop the
plans.
price.
You can get a refurb directly from Nintendo for $200 for a Wii U. The 32 gig deluxe one too.
But it's a refurb.
Yeah, but it's
stuck
guaranteed from Nintendo.
I'm stuck on Indivisible, Brian. What am I
Uh-oh.
supposed to do?
What do you mean? How are you stuck?
Like, there's this stupid jump that I can't
Yeah,
make.
I
or
didn't mean to do
something.
that.
You just jump down. That's what
I just did a super move, by the way.
No, I have to jump upwards.
Oh, use your axe. Your axe will stick into the wall. You
Oh.
use it to climb.
Alright.
Thank you.
They gave a really subtle hint with an
Yeah, the
axe
axe
stuck
is
in the
sitting
wall.
right there. Now that as soon as you said it, I'm like, oh, they did tell you how to do that.
Yeah,
Subtly,
it's
but-
really subtle. But,
Not too subtle. Tyler.
subtle enough that I completely.
Poor Tyler.
And it looks like there's only certain types of well that it actually works in.
Oh no, you can like stick it in practically any wall, I believe. It's just a new mechanic.
Yeah, I think it goes in any wall. It's just it's the wall jump of that particular game.
I was gonna say you'd be stumped by Symphony of the Night, Tyler.
Why would I be stumped by that?
I would just... Oh no, my headset battery's running low. Give me a second, guys. Sorry, I hate for that to happen during the stream. Be right back.
Yeah, Brian, you have more Wii U than PS4 games, so that's by your choice. I mean, it's not like there's not a ton of awesome PS4 games to play and a lot more than are on the Wii U. You
Well,
just
most
buy,
of those,
just buy them on PC or Xbox.
most of them I buy
One.
on PC or Xbox One, but
Right. So that's
I
not
have almost
all
all the
a fair
first-party
comparison.
Nintendo games. So I have, the new Mario World 3D game,
I'm back.
Captain Toad Treasure Tracker,
Captain.
Mario Kart. They're all on the shelf behind me. The new Donkey Kong Country game. And I have.
Smash Bros.
I'm not much into fighting games, so no, I
Wait.
don't have that one.
That game's cool, but you need other things to play with. I mean, it's like the best fighting game, and it's not.
Yeah,
even-
it's not a real
like
fighting
art
game.
Fighting game.
Yeah,
Like,
I
you-
did buy the
Yeah.
GameCube adapter for my Wii U to use your GameCube controllers.
the
but
worst
it's
controller
only
in
for-
Nintendo's history.
Oh, don't make me smack you through this
Oh, the
Skype call.
GameCube controller is so bad.
Oh,
Better
no,
than the
it isn't. It's
N64
best
one
controller
by
I've ever-
miles.
I think the GameCube controller was the best controller. designed.
Whoa, that is a really weird
It
thing to
just
say,
fits
Brian.
in
No.
your hands perfectly.
You have
No.
used other
It
controllers.
fits in your hands perfectly.
The
I-
button placement is
Yeah.
terrible.
It's perfect.
The
It's perfect.
C-stick
I will
is
hear none
There's
of
no
useless.
left bumper.
I'll hear none of it.
There's,
Who
there's
cares?
no. The stick
Well,
is
those
not
things all
good.
matter.
The D-pad is sort of. The D-pad is
Yeah.
tiny.
D-pad is precise, but definitely too tiny. I mean,
Nah.
There's got a dozen things wrong with it. The buttons don't have good feedback when you press them.
I loved it. It was great.
it was certainly better than the N64's, but yeah, I think you're being kind of hyperbolic by praising it to that extent. Let's
I don't
see.
know. I don't think so. Although I do think the Xbox One has the second best controller. That one is very good. Although the bumpers wear out.
Well,
too quickly.
they've, the new controllers bumpers are better.
Yeah, I'm gonna get an Elite one. And,
$150 controller.
Yep. I'll get one.
I'd hope its bumpers were better.
No,
Well,
even
it better be.
they revised the regular controller in
Even
Jan.
the one with the audio jack, they've
Okay.
revised it to make them a little tougher because they wear out pretty quick.
Sony's made their sticks a lot better.
Well,
Sounds
they
like
can't
all the-
get much worse, could they?
Yeah, the actual material of the sticks
Alright.
sounds like a lot of the.
I
early
can't figure out where
models.
to go.
See, Light Cycle agrees with me. He knows where it's at. The GameCube controller was perfect almost.
Nope.
No,
No.
it has real easily identifiable problems, so that's why I think that's...
I don't think so.
It really does. We just
Oh,
talked
yeah.
about
We
it.
just listed four
We
of
listed
them.
like 12 problems,
Nah.
Brian.
Awful feedback, tiny D-pad.
No
I don't
left
think
button.
so. I don't agree.
Well, you're just being silly. That's no fun.
But I don't agree. I would say
Triggers
the
are
most
bad. They take too long to push in.
the most improved controller between generations, except the N64 to GameCube, was the PS3 to
Yeah,
PS.
the PS3 to PS4.
PS3 controller was such garbage.
No, it's not
I
garbage.
hated that
They're
thing.
not on the same level as the Xbox
It just-
360
It was an okay design in 1995, but not in 2007.
It's not great.
It was not good.
360 and PS4 are my two favorite controllers. I don't know which one I,
I
like
mean,
better.
but the Bone controller is better than the 360 controller.
Well, I
It's
haven't used it.
better appreciably. I just wish they had gotten the
original
bumpers
bumpers.
right
The
originally.
bumpers were so bad on the ones I tried on the at launch. I don't like the bumpers at all on the Bone controller. Although, to be fair, that D-pad on the 360 controller
Yeah,
is so
yeah.
bad.
Yeah, I will concede that was a horrible D-pad.
So I've gotten to the end of the dungeon now, you guys, and this is a boss fight. It turns out that we were down here for a training exercise. We were supposed to be recovering some kind of secret document, but it turns out that we actually have to fight our trainer now. And this has just been a part of the test.
Oh,
the test,
that dirty
yeah,
so-and-so.
they like to trick the students. It's strange, but I guess it's supposed to prepare them for how missions can go sour. Yeah, and if you're playing on normal or higher, you would have a really tough time here. But the game does have an interesting feature. If you fail on a boss fight, then the boss fight will be a little bit easier the next if you choose to retry. And that's an option you can turn on or off, but I don't know why you would turn it off unless you just like to suffer.
Some people
Josh
just like to
Wood
suffer.
Some people do.
To his account, most people know him by. That's for.
Hey, Josh 1 billion.
Oh,
Wait.
okay. I was like, I was pretty sure that
Yeah,
dude's name was Josh.
He was from 40 Soft.
40 Soft doesn't want to be associated with the stream.
Ah, man, this is cold.
So I just used an S-Craft which is a kind of special move you have, and the fuel for it is called CP, and you earn these points by either getting hit or hitting enemies. So you can't just do it forever and ever, but it builds up, you know, it replenishes on its own, which is cool. Let's see, what can I hit him with? No, not enough range on that. We'll hit him with Comet. This misses a lot, so we'll see if it hits or not.
Was it the boss? The guy at the bottom of the pit?
Who? Oh, that game?
TP. No, it wasn't. It was
Yeah,
like these
Indivisible.
2 big gorilla guys.
Oh, well, you just suck then.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I
Well, I
heard.
don't understand the
I have never actually held a Jaguar controller, so
I have.
wouldn't know.
I played Alien vs. Predator on it, which was a good game.
STP?
I think
I did not play that game.
back then it was great. Nowadays, obviously, like most older FPS games, it doesn't hold up very well.
Mm.
Yeah, no, the Jaguar controller was ridiculous. Instead of giving it 6 buttons, because 6 buttons was a layout that existed back then. Instead of doing that, they put the phone dial pad thing underneath it, so and you could use little overlays to label what those functions would do. Kind of a PC-ish concept, you know? But like, I wouldn't have minded the phone thing if at least they gave it 6 buttons. Only like right when the system was about to die did they release a proper 6-button controller. And naturally, there were
silly.
not any kind of games for it.
I would have to say the trophy for the doofiest controller goes to the Duke,
the Xbox original.
the original Xbox.
I always want to call it Xbox.
the Duke.
Not a very
It-
ergonomic
it just-
controller.
I mean, if you're Shaquille O'Neal, sure. But
Yeah, like if one of those things falls on you, it can kill you.
yeah, break your foot if you drop it.
Ooh, we beat him. But actually, there were worse controllers, and they were for the 3DO.
I have never actually even seen a 3DO in person.
I owned a 3DO, and I had several different kind of controllers, and most of them were bad. Very bad. For one thing, the 3DO had only one controller port, so to play with 2 players, you had to daisy chain the controllers. But not every controller would
Really?
have the daisy chain thing, so like you might buy a third-party controller that was really good in every way, except can't use it for the second player, you know? Dumb stuff like that. But most of them were really bad. Mad Catz actually got their start releasing 3DO controllers. And theirs was pretty good. I don't know, some of them were good, some were bad, but most of them had really bizarre D-pads.
Hmm. Well, that's because Nintendo owned the patent on the D-pad, so they all
Sure,
had to
that
do
did
something
hamstring
weird.
everybody. But yeah, a lot of them just really stank. And I bought that system for Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, so not being able to...
Well, that was
Well,
a
I
bad
mean,
choice.
it was the best version of Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo at the time, by far. But you couldn't get a good controller to play it with, you know, so that was a frustrating aspect. And there were no arcade sticks available for it that I know of. So we just completed our thing, and we've gone back to this base where we are training. It's a remote mountain type base. This game has really good dialogue, by the way. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say it's all 100% great, but it is charming. Every character has a distinct personality, even the NPCs, and that's a big feature of the game, is that the NPCs all have names, and they change what they say, like, based on what has happened in the game. You might just... I don't know, if anything significant in the world happens, everybody will say something different, and there's so many characters, and many of them know and recognize your character, so they're like, oh, it's good to see you, Estelle. And that goes from the first chapter to the second chapter, so like you'll play the first, I mean, when you get to the second chapter, they still have that relationship that they developed through the first game. So for RPG fans who want a world that is really fleshed out, that's what you get here, most of all.
Yeah, it's really, really good. At least judging by the first one. I bought this one, I just haven't started playing it yet. I've been trying to catch up at
I'm
work.
publishing a review of sorts at Windows Central, hopefully tomorrow. And obviously this video will go along with it, but I will talk about both games in the series to a mild extent. I haven't gotten far enough it's hard to call it a review when I've only played like, I don't know, 8 or 10 hours of a game that is so long like this. But hopefully it will give people a good enough idea of what the series is about and encourage them to play it. And how much do these games cost individually? Aren't they 30 each? Or the first one on Steam is 20.
The first one right now, I think, is on sale for like 5 or 10.
10.
But normally it's okay, 10. Normally it's $20, and the new one is 30.
So really fair. For 50, you're getting just a huge JRPG.
Oh, and I saw this is also on sale on Good Old Games for those of you who don't like DRM, also for $10.
Weirdos.
Yeah, just like STP just said, it's on sale for $10 on Good Old Games. They just started their fall sale, so for the next week and a half, there'll be games for the cheap. For those
well, I know
who
the
want
PSN sale ends Thursday, so I don't know if that applies to Steam and GOG too for this particular game or not.
Oh, is it on sale on PSN too, like a launch discount?
I'm sorry, the first chapter.
The first one I think is on sale for $10.
Just like they did with Corpse Party.
It's pretty much
like when
the same.
The new Corpse Party came out, they put the other two on sale for 10 each.
Good.
Nice.
And those also come from Xseed, don't they? Yeah.
I think
Don't
so.
know on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, Xseed has become such a prolific publisher nowadays.
They're doing really nicely. And, oops, I already talked to this guy. We should talk a little bit about the magic system, which in this game, they're called, I don't know, orb mints. It's complicated.
Yeah, it's based on crystals.
Yeah, each character...
And what you equip.
Yeah, they wear this thing where they can put these crystals called orbs into them, and those will affect what spells they have available to them, as well as their actual MP, which is called EP. So, and these slots in the thing can be upgraded so that they can use better crystals, and so you get more magic points out of them. After we were off topic so much, it's probably a shock to go back to discussing the game. Let's see, I want to upgrade a slot. So yeah, we will pick a slot and upgrade it.
So each...
There we go. Can I upgrade another?
Some slots have specific elements that you can only equip certain magic in. And it'll be colored and it'll say which one you can only equip it in. And depending on the number and placement of the different elements gives you different spells. So if you combine like water and wind elements on a single person, then it'll give you spells from both, and the more you equip, the higher level they are. And you can get some really, really powerful magic spells.
Yo, Zero, is Hump Day over already?
Hey,
But
Zero.
yeah, that thing where some of the characters have a slot that is only usable for wind magic, for instance, that allows them to give that character a particular type of magic, you know? I mean,
yeah, it tilts them in that direction. You can, you know, kind of go in a slightly more custom direction, but they'll always have wind or shadow or earth-based magic. You know, they'll always kind of go that way.
Massage day. That's even better. I thought
the Vietnamese happy ending place, huh?
I thought Zero was auditioning a new person for Hump Day. He's talking about it anyway.
We need to check up with him on that.
He just bounces from one masseuse to another. Let's put it that way.
The saga of Zero. So Estelle went to bed, and now she's being woken up because the base is under attack.
Place is on fire. Get up.
Yep. And I like that Estelle heard the noise, and you can choose to go back to sleep or get up. And I chose to go back to sleep this time. But you still get woken up.
You are correct on Corpse Party. It was published by
Word.
Seed.
I need to play that more, and we still need to stream the newest one. It's been a busy time. It would have been so good to play that around Halloween time, though.
Too bad you weren't here.
I don't like for RPG mechanics to be too complicated. I would say the orb system is like a little too complicated for me to fully understand, because I'm not going to sit there and read over it a million times. But yeah, I can...
You just got to experiment with it. I mean, there's no way to know what something's going to do until you equip it.
Well, you have a chart, but the chart
Yeah,
is really
I'm more-
hard to read. I'll show that in a minute.
I'm more like Icky, where the more brainless the game, the better. If it like an RPG game has too much, I just
Oh,
there's
you were
no
just
way.
telling us that the Dragon Quest game was too laid back for you or something.
Right. Well, yeah. No, you're right. There has to be a clever medium.
Well, I loved the system in Final Fantasy VIII, and that was pretty darn complicated. Unless you really knew what you were doing. And you can only really know what you're doing if you had the guide.
The Final Fantasy games, the newer ones, have been like that. Although Final Fantasy XIII's system wasn't really very hard to understand to me. I liked it.
I would say Final Fantasy XII has been one of the more complicated ones in recent memory. And I didn't really care for that game very much. I didn't like the new character.
Yeah, well, Final Fantasy...
Yeah, Josh is with me. He knows where
He says Final Fantasy XIII is a little brainless. I mean, like, I like the upgrade system, the way you learn spells and stuff. The actual fights, I still wouldn't even call them brainless. They're, like, there's a certain level of automation that I guess some people dislike.
Press A.
Yeah,
and
but
win.
it doesn't really work that way, because you have to make decisions mid-battle or you'll lose, so...
Well, it works that way in every battle except the boss battles. And then if you've only just been pressing A to win, you get your butt kicked.
Well, definitely at the boss battles, but I would say even regular battles often require a level of paying attention. At least once your life gets low, they do.
They must have been cheating pretty hard, Icky, because there's
Whoa.
there's no way you can get them all.
In what game?
I just went to the islands of
Final
Heaven and
Fantasy
Hell.
VIII?
All the good spells were there.
Ah.
Yeah. There's, hundreds of draw points on those two islands. You can get all the
I
magic
never
you
played
want.
that one. Oh, one of my characters is dizzied.
It's so good.
Me neither.
It's on
that goes-
PSN for $10.
Oh, I
think.
know. If I was going to buy any Final Fantasy game for my Vita, though, it would be Final Fantasy X.
Get Final Fantasy 9.
Well, I would like to play 9, but I mean, like, 10 has a nice re-release, so that's probably the
It's
one
pretty
I would
good.
get.
Yeah. For re-releases, it's pretty good. But they really need to remake Final Fantasy 9.
That would be
It
cool.
was by far the best Final Fantasy
I
game.
do hear very good things about it. Although I never liked the character art, and I think it turned a lot of people off. It's a weird art style.
Really? Well, it's an art style that harkens back to the
It does,
Nintendo
but
days.
uglier.
Well, yeah. Well, they had to do it in 3D because 3D was all the rage.
I mean, I don't mean the actual like in-game 3D models. I'm talking about the bigger models. The way that I don't know. I would have to be looking at a picture to really tell you what I find wrong about it. So we defeated that one enemy, but they had reinforcements, and they've just knocked us out. So now we've woken up in a forest.
Hmm.
Oh, one of these guys can heal or something. Sorry, I'm talking about Indivisible again. I think one of these guys is healing.
The cat
Icky,
lady.
you and your friends shouldn't be such cheaters.
Her special, her
Yeah.
her up special, I think, does healing.
Because this boss has a whole lot of power.
Yeah, that boss is tough.
Yeah, I died there and quit. That was enough for me.
Yeah, that's probably what I'll do if I die again.
I have a feeling the fanboys of Final Fantasy VII are going to be heartbroken at what Squaresoft does to it for the remake, because they said they are not making a direct remake.
I don't see anything wrong with.
They are going to modernize it and change
Yeah.
it, which includes changing some of the story. They have explicitly said
Because
that.
they can't really write anymore, so that's scary to think about.
No, they couldn't write back then either. Little Mr. Emo, oh, everybody cry for me.
And the English translation wasn't very good. They made Barrett a racist caricature.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Although it's kind of a hard, that's kind of a hard thing to get right, isn't it? Because there are, I don't know. I mean, there are some people of that culture who really do not use what we would consider proper English, right? Like barely at all. But you don't write a character like that in a game or a movie because it offends everyone else. So, I don't know, it's a weird thing. Better just to avoid it.
Well, that's true. I remember playing, like, all night, every weekend in high school, playing, Final Fantasy 8 and 9 and 10 and, all the classic PlayStation ones.
And I totally skipped that generation of them. But Final Fantasy 4 and 6, I beat those inside out.
Yeah, that was a little bit before my entry into the RPG.
Yeah, but they've both been re-released plenty of times.
Well, I own them on several platforms. I have played 6 quite a bit. I do like that one. It's really good. I played 3 and 4 a little bit, but I didn't care.
3 is a little too simple, but still, the fact that they released it on Windows Phone with Xbox achievements was pretty cool. And playing phones are a really good way to play RPGs. Some people are just like find the idea offensive, but again, anything that you have with you all the time is really good for RPGs. So just like the Vita and the DS, etc., 3DS.
Yeah, I did like the remake of 3 and 4 on the DS. Those are very good remakes, and those are what they ported to phones.
Yeah,
3 and 4.
which is nice.
They're pretty good remakes. I like how they updated them and kind of brought them into the modern gaming age.
Do I have that cookie? No, didn't find the cookie. Crafts. Which, here I've got this enemy called a Shining Palm, and they can hit you for a lot of damage, but they typically run away from the fight, so you have to use special techniques to actually be able to hit and kill them. But they give you a ton of experience.
Like the metal slimes on the original.
Ah, yes. Let's see if this works.
My RPG knowledge is
Ooh,
coming through.
I got a good hit in there.
Yeah.
So let's see, do I have another one to use?
I could never get into Final Fantasy V. I don't know. I just never could get past the first 2 hours. And, Final Fantasy games, if you can't get past the first 2 hours, you just stop generally.
Dang. I hope that'll hit. Miss. Weak. Oh, and it ran away. See? They're so hard to kill. But if you do kill one, I understand that you will gain several levels the first time you do it. We should briefly talk about what you get for playing the first game and then moving on to the second one.
I like when games do stuff like that.
Yeah, it is cool. Now, the most ideal situation to me would be if all of your progress completely transferred over, like your character level, etc. That is not the case.
Yeah, but they got to start you over.
Yeah, that's the thing. For one thing, this game sort of revamps the orb system, the magic system. So, and they have an in-story reason for it, but it's basically just so you have to start finding magic orbs over again and upgrading them over again. Yeah, but if you played the first game and you then play the second, your character Estelle will be 5 levels higher than if you didn't play, than if you start fresh. So yeah, it'll be a little easier. There's some, depending on your level of completion, you will also start with some bonus items. And one of those bonus items is really useful because it increases the drop rate of items by enemies like 30%, which is a pretty significant increase. So it doesn't hurt to play through the first game and do everything. Like, it just depends on how much you want to get into the series. You could just jump in with the second one. There's just...
I see, you can't just jump into the first one. That's like a 40 or 50 hour game.
Yeah, definitely, it's very long. But what I mean is you could just skip the first one and go to the second. It catches you up enough, although you won't understand some of the character relationships and stuff.
Yeah, you won't get most of it.
Yeah, I just don't see why you would. Like, why would I buy the second game if I didn't play the first? It's better just to enjoy the whole thing. I guess it depends on what kind of a time commitment you want to make.
True. And don't worry if they don't release the third one, because the first two are really reliant on each other, but the third one's sort of, set several years afterwards.
So I hear.
So it's if they don't release it, don't cry a river. You won't miss any of the main story. This one's supposed to kind of wrap things up.
I think they will release it as long as this one doesn't tank. So we can only hope that it sells well.
Yeah,
like for instance, anybody in our audience who likes RPGs, I highly encourage you at least buy the first chapter. But if you really want to support quality RPGs being released in America, then please buy them both.
Yes, absolutely.
Josh is talking about Final Fantasy V. I never got to play that one.
Yeah, he's talking about the class system where you can mix and match different abilities. You have a similar type of setup in Bravely Default. If you haven't played that, I highly recommend it. It's got a very detailed class system.
Nice.
I beat the lion guy.
Right.
Hey, and the demo ends there. At least when I played it. So that's what
Yeah, I did.
I should have used or shouldn't have used it, Icky. I think he's saying I should have saved it for the Shining Palm. I'm not sure.
Should have used your CD.
One thing I've noticed about these games compared to other JRPGs is a lot of JRPGs encourage you to walk around pressing A on every little object in the environment in hopes of finding secrets. And these games do not reward that. There are no secrets of that nature. You'll know if something actually does have something in it because an exclamation mark would come up over it. So if you walk by something and it doesn't have an exclamation mark, then just walk past it,
Cool. Yeah, it sounds like Final Fantasy IX. If there's a secret hidden somewhere, a little exclamation mark pops up. Otherwise, there's just nothing there.
So it goes. I did hit it with one S-Craft, Icky. It ran away before I could hit it with another one, though.
Yeah, they run away a lot.
Oh, yeah, actually, I mean, I tried to hit it with the second one, but that one missed. And then, yeah, it ran away before that. But if I had a strong enough one, I think that's what he's saying. I should have used the one that uses 100 CP instead of only 20. Because you have different levels of them you can use. You can rotate the camera at any time, by the way. Found reinforced boots. Now I gotta equip them. Menus for equipping things are a little bit clunky. Not horrible, but not the best.
Yeah, I think I remember that from the first game.
Is there tons of like inventory and item management?
No,
and
not
stuff?
a lot.
Yeah, you have an unlimited inventory.
Cool. Yeah, because those are one things about like JRPGs that get annoying to me if there's like too many stats and items and things like that.
The ones I hate are where you have like 15 item slots. Ugh. I'm a digital hoarder, man. Let me keep everything. I guess it's slightly more realistic.
Yeah. Oops, that's not the way I wanted to go. What we're gonna do is we're gonna play until I get to the next boss, and then after we beat the boss, we'll call it quits.
Cool.
So remember, if I made this look too easy, I am actually playing on easy, and I recommend that you play on normal or higher. We just did easy for this stream. But if you do play on normal or higher, you have to be prepared for some difficulty spikes at boss fights and different times. What's here in the water? A bad guy. A rat or something. I understand there's an anime based on this actual game, Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. And
Would not surprise me.
apparently it was licensed for release in America. I don't know if it actually came out or not, because I searched on Amazon and didn't get any results, which surprised me. I found a wall scroll for it. Real nice wall scroll. I used to collect wall scrolls and posters, so it's very tempting to get one. But my walls are practically full already, so I wouldn't have any place for it.
Only so much
Yeah.
wall space.
Like, you can't see it, but right behind my monitor here, I've got a custom framed print of Van Gogh's Starry Night. And then in my living room, I have a variety of movie posters. Star Trek, the motion picture, Japanese never-ending story poster, French Spirited Away poster. Yeah, I used to really enjoy collecting those. And they're all custom framed, so they're just the way I like them. Yeah.
Nice.
And dry mounted, of course, so they don't get wrinkles. Just a movie, Icky? Yeah, I would love to watch it. I just have to figure out whether it actually came out here or not. It could just be that it's out of print or something. There was also an anime based on Ys, the other series from Falcom. I own that on DVD, and I like it pretty well. It's not like wonderful or anything, but still definitely worth watching, and it has great music, and it's really close to the game in most ways.
If you're like animes based on RPGs, the Tales of series, practically every single main game has an anime. The most popular of which was probably Tales of Destiny or Tales of Eternia. But they take a lot of the cutscenes from the game and do, nice full quality animations.
That is
Pretty cool.
cool. I've never actually played any of those. Or just in my modern lifestyle, I don't have a lot of time for RPGs, although I have been playing this quite a lot. It's like in my little bits of spare time, either I'm doing reading or I'm playing on my Vita, so now I'm just playing this stuff on my Vita.
So make me time you out, like that.
What? Oh my goodness.
Being rather naughty.
Uh-oh, somebody's shooting at us.
Wah, wah. Pew 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 pew. Oh wait, that's Star Wars.
If we're going to talk about overall plot in the Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky games, like, there definitely is an overarching plot. It's spread out a little bit, because you're so encouraged to do these side quests and to talk to all the townspeople and stuff, that the story progression is going to be slower for you unless you deliberately avoid all the good stuff. Because the good stuff, a lot of it involves side quests and stuff, so it's kind of like The Witcher 3 in that respect.
Cool.
Oh, we'll fight.
Yeah, like I said, half the script in this game is side quests and just talking to NPCs.
Yeah, and I know that will scare some people off, but it really is cool.
Man, that's the good stuff in a game, because you hate talking to NPCs that after 2 lines they loop what they say.
Yeah, well, it's not that these people don't loop what they say, but it's just that they will change it after things happen, so you can come back.
Well, yeah, I mean, they do loop occasionally, but, it might take 7 or 8 lines.
That hasn't been my experience. In my experience, they repeat
Really?
the second time. Oh, well, no, the second time will be different, and then the third time would be a repeat of the second time. But the big thing is just that you could go off and complete a quest and then come back, and then they'll have something different to say after that. They react to what's happening in the world around them.
Yeah. You gotta turn that overlay off, man.
Overlay?
Yeah, it's picking up your Steam overlay.
Oh, yeah, should've.
Picking up what?
Steam overlay, in other words, the pop-ups when people get online.
Oh, I must have missed
Man,
it.
I haven't even earned one Steam achievement. I would have liked to have gotten one. Probably if I got far enough, there'd be something.
Yeah, although I don't remember there being too many. There was definitely one for, opening and opening the treasure chest.
Oh, that's interesting.
I do remember that.
Oh, you can get a fan sub. Thanks, Icky. Yeah, I keep saying if you wanted to start on the second chapter, you could watch the anime adaptation of the first chapter to get caught up on the story. And I saw that online there's like a recap of the first game's story. Somebody did one, but they did it in extreme detail, so even just reading the recap would be like reading a book, which is funny.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's like, I think you... But still, just on Wikipedia even, you could find a more concise summary of what happened, if you so desired.
It'll suffice to get you caught up where you need to
The
be.
first PSP game came out 4 years ago, I understand. So if you played that version,
Here in
yeah,
the States,
if you played
yes.
that version and right when it came out, and that was the last time you played it, then you would have forgotten a lot of stuff by now. So I could see needing the catching up for that.
Sure.
The enemy just disappeared on us. One thing I don't like about the game is that you cannot adjust the text speed. Like, the text speed is what it is, and nothing makes it go faster. Like, jamming on the button does not make it go faster. Which, you don't really want to do that normally, except I've already played through a lot of this on the Vita. So, like, for me, it would be better if I could just skip to where I am on the Vita. But, nope, gotta go through it at the speed they want you to go through it. And now I can choose where to go from there. I think I have to go back to the lodge, was it? Yeah. And I just want to see if there's any kind of menu stuff we wanted to show off before we quit. So this is our lodge where we were just attacked. It looks like nobody's here.
The place is abandoned.
Let's see. You can change your party formation if you want, set it up however you want to take advantage of the grid system. A few little options you can adjust. We already did equipment, we already did orbs, status. Yeah, that's about everything. Alright, well I hope you guys enjoyed seeing some of Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky 2nd chapter. It's a bit...
Rolls right off the tongue.
Oh yeah, totally. It's so easy to tweet it out too, you know, because not a lot of characters in that title. Yeah, it's available right now on Steam for Windows and on PSP and Vita as a digital download in both cases. $20 for the first chapter, regular price. $30 for the second chapter. Totally worth buying at least the first chapter and see how you get into the series. And if you have a Vita or PSP that can play it, then I would recommend that version over the Steam version, just for like being able to play it portability wise. But if you just like sitting at home on your computer or TV or whatever and playing, then the Steam version is really nice and it is a little bit better. But
yeah, they put a lot of care into the Steam version.
yeah, and one thing is that the Steam version can be patched, so like if bugs pop up and stuff, they can patch them. But apparently patching the PSP version would be prohibitively difficult to do. So it is what it is.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, if they want to patch it, they have to send the revised code back to Falcom in Japan, have them put it in the game, have them send the new patched binaries to Xseed, test it, and then release it. And they're not going to do that because they had enough trouble just getting the game out.
I'm glad you're familiar with that, Brian. Yeah, apparently getting Falcom to actually implement patches was not a speedy, or just to implement changes during the translation and development process was not a speedy thing. So.
Yeah, they weren't responsive. It is a 10-year-old game for them. So.
But still, I think it was just more like they were not treating them as well as they could have. But that's okay. Yeah.
That's true.
Anyway,
That's true.
yeah. I think it's important to support games like this because there aren't that many of them left, especially more of an old school JRPG like this. So please do support it if you like the genre. Go out and buy it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to read our full review, our full Steam spotlight on these games when it goes up, and please leave a comment on it. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Twitch. And what else? Anything else, Brian? Oh.
Go read your latest
yeah,
article.
Always do that. By the way, thank you guys for co-hosting with me tonight.
Yep.
Indeed.
All right, yeah. And thanks for tuning in, live viewers, and thanks for watching, YouTube viewers. Remember, don't hate, appreciate.
See ya.
Have a good one.